Hey fellow tarot geeks, occult nerds, all the things. I am finally making a new video on an unboxing, walkthrough, whatever, of the Sinking Wasteland Tarot, which just arrived. I don't make videos a lot. I wish I could make more videos, but this definitely called for its own video. I saw this deck first floating around Instagram and social media and immediately fell in love. It's a post-apocalyptic, western, slightly cyberpunk-ish, everything that I love aesthetically. It's just beautiful, beautiful art, captivating world, and I knew I had to have it. So I backed the Kickstarter and the deck arrived today. The artist, his name is James Brothwell. He is a genius. His worlds are so nuanced and idiosyncratic and clever, but still poignant, and I just love his aesthetic. His aesthetic is exactly what I love in art, in fiction, and a lot of my multimedia dance work has a very similar world, I think. But anyway, this is the deck that came in, so I'm going to unbox it and probably flip through the cards and just geek around for a few minutes and put it on YouTube.
Do it! Just do it!
Oh, by the way, his Instagram account is Pixel Occult, and it's brilliant because it's brilliant. You just gotta look at it and you'll just know. I'm always just like geeking over his Instagram account, and his work is just phenomenal. He's currently creating a new deck titled maybe it's called the Pixel Occult, or it's called, I think, Cyberpunk Tarot, or it's just equally amazing. But anyway, this is the Sinking Wasteland Tarot, and I'm going to unbox it now. Containers, by the way, containers are everything. In the mind, physically, everything is a container. So this is very cool. Oh my god, okay, this is the first thing. Oh wow, this is the book. Hello and welcome to the Sinking Wasteland Tarot, a deck I created between 2014 and 2016. It was a first print run over the summer 2016 and just cleared funding for a second in the fall of 2017. That's right now. It was originally conceived as a practice exercise to learn the tarot. I had decided that the most fun way to learn the 78 cards of the standard Rider-Waite deck would be to research and illustrate each of them, one by one. And I'm so glad he chose to do this, because this deck is the best. The major arcana are fully colored with extra layers of lighting. The minor arcana are in line work with shading, and the royalty are colored but lacking more of the fine detail than the majors have. Each suit is tinted a slightly different shade according to their associated elements. The entire deck is meant to have a post-apocalyptic, gothic, western theme. Set in a dying world, seemingly devoid of a future, which is how the name came about. The world was meant to be one of deserts, impossible magics, toxic rising black waters, and wandering survivors looking for something. Kind of sounds like life.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
That's another thing about this deck I've noticed just through social media, is the characters have such like evocative facial expressions and stances, and they're just they're characters that you can admire and fear and grow to love and lust over even. And I do that all the time with tarot. That's like the best thing to do with tarot. It's just like, you know, when you have like a crush on a tarot card. No? You don't know? Yeah, you totally know what I'm talking about. Oh my god, and here it is. Oh my god, look at this! It's a pen of the Hanged Man! So cool! In the questionnaire for the Kickstarter, it asked you what your favorite card was, and I said the Hanged Man. So now I have a pin of the Hanged Man, and I love pins. I collect pins. Where's my pin hat? Oh, where are all they? Anyway, here's my hat of pins. It used to be covered with pins, but now there's only like 5 of them.
Let it go, let it go.
Ooh. Whoa! Oh my god, this is so cool. Okay. Oh wow. This is so awesome. Okay, so upon opening, Joe discovers not only does he receive the Sinking Wasteland tarot deck, which I will open in a moment, but he receives the Hanged Man from the deck he's developing. Oh my god. Look at that. Wow. This is so beautiful. This is awesome. I also got, I think this is a sticker or maybe a tattoo. I'm not sure. Oh, I think it's a tattoo because it's reversed. Yeah, I think this is the Hanged Man tattoo. That is so cool. No, it's just, I don't know. It's a sticker. But whatever, it's cool. It's a sticker or a tattoo. I'm so excited. Okay, very cool. Okay, now it's time to open the Sinking Wasteland Tarot. Oh, this is so cool. As I unfold the many secure and safe packagings of this, my apologies for the wait, but alas, entropy takes time. Shipping package entropy. Everything is unfolding and expanding very slowly, very slowly. But that is okay.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows? Only time. And who can say if your love grows as your heart shows? Only time.
Well, all right. Okay. So now we have the book.
I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, ram,
Oh
beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, rat, beans, greens,
The cool
potatoes, tomatoes,
sticker
lamb,
and
ram,
or tattoo.
beans, greens, potatoes,
it's
tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, chicken,
And
beans, greens, potatoes,
Hanged
tomatoes,
Man
lamb,
from his new
ram,
deck.
beans,
And
greens, potatoes, tomatoes,
finally,
chicken, turkeys.
Sinking Wasteland Tarot. Sorry, the camera's like really far away because I don't know what I'm doing, you know, filming videos. So that's what's going on. Oh my god. Wow. Oh, baby. This is so cool. Alright, and here it is. The Sinking Wasteland Tarot. This is amazing. Alright, are you ready for the shuffle porn? That's the moment we've all been waiting for, the shuffle porn. Are you ready for it? Yeah, a note is that the gilded edges, these really beautiful gold edges, they are really beautiful, But, and this might just because I just took them out of the box, they are getting on my hands, which is fine because I don't mind glitter. There's nothing wrong with little glitter here and there. But just a note, that's a thing. But yeah, this stuff is so exciting. Okay, now for the part that you're probably really here for is the walkthrough. So I'm not gonna, this is out of order, I just shuffled them, but yeah, let's do it. Page of Swords, so this greenish color is all the swords. 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Swords. Yeah, that's pretty evocative. You can really feel that, like, oh shit, don't know if I should have done that, like that kind of failure, that sad dismissal. 6 of Swords. I love this 8 of Swords. It's just so elaborately interwoven and on her, throughout her body. It's, yeah, it's very pretty. Yeah, you know, like yeah, I mean, this kind of gives you a very, like, obvious, like, oh yeah, like, you can just feel, like, what the card's evoking very easily. I really love this depiction of the Wheel of Fortune. Having that steering wheel of the ship is, and then having his face in the center reminds me of the axle, the part of the wheel that doesn't turn, that, like, the answer to samsara, going up and down, and then how can we find that still center and just allow the things to move as they will. Yeah, there's a lot there, and I love he uses the esoteric symbolism as well. So he has the Taro, which when you put it in all the different orders creates the phrase. The tarot is like the word of law or of love. So yeah, I love these 3 of Cups, how they are just interconnected with these pipes or these chords. That is a huge concept in the 3 of Cups, is connection, and it's Mercury in Cancer, so it's all about Persephone going up and down, the homecoming, the celebration. And as a 3, it's all about form, which is very important. And Queen of Cups. I love the simplicity here with the 8 of Wands. I really enjoy that. Yeah, even here, like, it's the barbed wire is so just, like, subtle but sharp. This Sun card I've been thinking about all day because I knew my package was here today, and I was like, wow, that Sun card, it's been in my mind all day. And I don't know it's, like, not traditional, but there's something about it that's very mysterious and very, like, subtle and simple. Like, it just makes me think of time and dust, and how when the sun goes through the windows you can see, like, the dust dancing with each other through the sunbeams, and there's something very peaceful about it and trusting, but yet there's a history to this scene as well, I think. Yeah, there's just a lot in here, I think. I have to, like, explore. Okay, this is what I mean about, like, the characters are just so, like, they're very evocative, and they're very, like, you know her. Like, I know her from somewhere, you know? She almost like they're archetypal, or they're just, familiar in a way, and just their facial expression. So you can tell, like, she does not give, she has 0 fucks to give. She's like, look at my land of fucks and see that it is barren. Like, there are no fucks she is giving because she's doing her own thing. She's the 7 of Swords. She's leaving the encampment. She's on her own path. I love it. I love that aspect of the 7 of Swords. 2 of Cups. Also, all of the, this deck is also, like, not a heteronormative deck. I love the LGBTQ presence in the deck and the characters. It's progressive. It's honest. Yeah. And even many of the characters to me are quite androgynous, which I appreciate as well. This is one of my favorite depictions of the Hierophant ever, because I subscribe to the idea of the Hierophant as the higher self, and our bodies and our brains as further emanations and vehicles of that higher self. So I look at this guy who looks like he's kind of turned off, like someone switched him off, and he's all bulky and he's this big body, but it's his like mind or spirit as this like cybernetic looking robot that's controlling him, or maybe he's about to like plug him in and say, all right, let's make this decision. Oh, everything's falling, it's fine. Which I love, because the Hebrew letter Vav, which is attributed to this card, means nail, the connecting device, anything that connects the body to the brain to the spirit. And on its position on the Tree of Life also suggests connecting to the Word, the Logos, the Spirit of God. It's also attributed to the sense, the hearing sense. This card is about hearing, so listening to your higher self. So there's all that in here, except it's cool, because fucking look at it, you know? I love that the deck maintains these deep esoteric symbols and ideas without following it completely, but still taking on this beautiful idiosyncratic unique world. Ten of Swords. So yeah, like the Chariot. We have black and white, which to me is the two pillars of the Tree of Life. The pillar of severity, the pillar of mercy, or the pillar of form and the pillar of force, which must be harnessed to go forward, because nothing can exist unless it has an opposition to make it that thing, right? Nothing exists without something else to define what that is. So to move forward, it's just like when you're swimming in water, you don't move forward unless the water resists a little bit to push you forward. So that's the whole idea in the Chariot, is you're harnessing these polar energies like a battery to charge you forward. And I really can see that clearly throughout this imagery. And his face is like, he's not playing around. He's ready to go. Or she. Knight of Cups. Again, I love that some of the knights are look a little more female. I think there are two Fool cards, but I love the Fool. It's like, it's creepy, but it's not human. It's very important for me for the Fool not to be too human, because the Fool is really not human, like in the design, in the esoteric design of the tarot. The Fool is the primum mobile, the first movement of the universe. It's like the Big Bang, or even before the Big Bang, it could be the invisible, what could have been, the negative, the vacuum, the zero. So I don't like when the Fool is too human. It's too, the Fool is not supposed to be comprehensible, and I love how that is illustrated here as this masked figure, which you don't even know, is it a child, is it a creature? It's like, it's out there in limbo. I don't know. I'll never know who that is, and I think that's the point, for at least in my interpretation. And like these creepy children in the Six of Cups, really cool. They remind me of those children from that video game BioShock, that like they come with the Big Daddy, which is this big robot, and they collect blood or something, either blood or some type of drugs from like dead bodies, and give it to like the Big Daddy. It's very creepy, but really a genius video game with a very intense and clever narrative about similar idea, post-apocalyptic, greed, yeah, just like humanity pushing itself to the edge and failing. Here's the second Fool card, which I love. I love that the Fool's lips kind of look like the lips in Rick and Morty when they that expression when they're like, what the hell just happened, and their lips just kind of go down and they're confused. It's kind of has it like derpy, like what kind of like, which is cool. And I love the sun radial pattern coming out of the center of his head. It's beautiful. Definitely one of my favorite Page of Cups cards ever. For some reason I see her on a bus in this image, like she's about to drive us all to save us out of one part of like the post-apocalyptic desert where like maybe a storm's gonna come or a bunch of robots are gonna attack or something, and like we're all getting on board and like we all trust her and she's gonna take us to like some type of refugee area. Eight of Pentacles is great. I mean, all of them are great. Nine of Swords. Wasteland. Sinking into the oil. I love this Two of Pentacles. This Two of Pentacles, you really get the sense of change, but like it's impartial because it's a robot. So it's like, it's almost like, you ever play Animal Crossing and you're having a bad day and like your little robot next to the house is just like dancing away and he's always dancing? Or like in certain games like that video game, what's it called? I like video games, by the way, if you couldn't tell. In the game Fallout, Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, like everything's going to shit and it's crazy, but these robots are just happy and like doing their thing all the time. It's like this guy is just like, yep, we're going, and you're like, no, I'm dealing with this life wave right now and everything's changing and I can't, and he's like, yep, we're going. It's, yeah, almost like a C-3PO kind of like, well, I guess he's not that positive, but almost like an R2-D2 like optimism, R2-D2 optimism. Yeah, I think he's gonna become a new archetype for like maybe the Fool or like positivity or whatever. Beautiful Empress card. Loving that there's not much tech involved in this card. It's very like organic, and you have this like vegetation growing around her, and I love her dreads, and I think there's the 12 stars of the Zodiac / the 12 stars of the figure in Revelation. Oh my god, look at this hunk right here. Yes. I would be friends with him in this world in a second. Yes, I love this fro right now. Yeah, so good. King of Pentacles. Very cool. The Magician. This is a really cool card for me because I've lately been very detached from the star representation in the Waite Smith deck, because the star in the Thoth deck is like super like important, and there's a whole chapter in Crowley's Book of the Law that's just about the star, who is Nuit, who is the infinite space of love, pretty much. And in this card, I feel Nuit in this card. I feel that infinite space. I feel that guidance, that potential, that love, which is awesome because I don't feel that in all of Waite inspired, in all of Waite Smith designed decks, but I do feel it here because the sky is stretching across the entire landscape, and yeah, there's it's powerful. And then the 8-pointed star, Sirius, however you want to interpret that. This Devil card, love it. The Devil's kind of my card because I'm a Capricorn, but this Devil card really shows you what type of addictions are, I find, more ubiquitous now than like what we normally associate. Because in this card we see this androgynous figure with these goat horns, but they are dressed as like a business person, and it's this is a huge aspect of Capricorn, because Capricorn governs status and career, and it's not always physical lust, it's not always drug addiction, it could be your lust for career, your status, how you label yourself, how you dress, your ego, boom, it's all that, how you present yourselves. And in a world that profits off of these superficial methods of communication and representation and commercialization, we have to kind of play this game, but at the same time we don't want to be played by the game. You know, like, we don't want it to eat us up. So that's my whole thing with the Devil card in one respect. Not the spiritual pan aspect, but in like the darker side of like addiction, is like how far do our addictions go in terms of our lifestyle and our definitions of things, because all definitions are rigid and don't exist because everything's in flux, right? So yeah, this Devil card is just all of it, so good. Alright, so I'm gonna end my video there. I highly recommend you purchase this deck if it's still available. I think it is. I'm not sure. I don't really know anything. But yeah, definitely get the deck. Definitely follow Pixel Occult on Instagram. Thank you so much, James Brothwell, for your amazing work. It is so much appreciated. This deck is already one of my favorite decks, and I'm so excited to journey with it and get to know it better. And I'm so excited for your continued work on your new deck. This is so exciting. So thank you so much for tuning in. Love you all. Thanks.